Curiosity. What are you so curious about? Everything, Mr. Curiosity.
Alrighty, folks, Snedeker here. You see how I turn it up?
Yeah.
I'm like a different person.
You are.
Because I'm still coming off of my sickness. Joe Snedeker here, Mr. Curiosity Podcast. We have the great Tim Hopkins.
Oh, gosh.
Woohoo!
We have the undeniable John Meyer,
Hello, everybody.
who can't live without Salisbury steak. And then
I
we have
really
Mindy
do like
Ramsey, who is
Salisbury
the
steak.
most awesome person sitting at this table.
Wait a
She
minute.
is.
I just found this out.
I
You
just-
love Salisbury
actually-
steak?
I think I do love Salisbury steak.
just made
I haven't
that
had
part
it
up.
since a TV dinner in like 12th grade. But
I felt like my intro was weak, so I just wanted to inject a lie.
I like it.
I sometimes just question the thoughts that come into your head.
I know.
I
We-
stopped
we all
questioning
do,
them.
Tim.
I stopped questioning them a long time ago, but every once in a while, it still pops up.
Tim, stop those thoughts. No, because I had the flu last week, I feel a little nasally, and when you can't hear yourself speak properly, sometimes you just feel boring, and I don't want to feel boring.
and for
So-
those that missed it on TV, you were in bed, not getting out of bed, 36 hours?
Yeah, and that's why this podcast is delayed. Usually it comes out Monday morning, and here it is Monday. We're recording this, so it'll be out maybe 5, 6, 7 hours later than it normally is if you're paying attention.
But, I mean, you were half dead last week. You couldn't do it last week.
It's funny, Mindy. When I sat in my car and drove to work, the whole time I'm thinking, I can't do this.
Yeah.
And that's so not Joe.
When you feel achy and you just want to sleep and you sit up and it's dizzy, but what am I going to do? Turn around?
I have never seen you that sick.
I thought I was going
I'm
to carry.
serious.
I thought I was going to have to carry out of the backyard
Yeah.
that morning. Yeah, you sounded.
We were just going to throw you over the bank.
Well, I feel like an irresponsible coworker because I think I'm like my dad. I remember everyone making fun of him never taking off work. And I feel like I come from a time where if you call in sick, you're a pansy.
Well,
And that's
That
still
was a
in my
time,
that
yeah.
there was a time for that.
Yeah.
But yet nowadays it's smart to take off because you don't want to infect others.
true.
So please don't feel like
Especially nowadays, yeah.
Yeah, I don't want to feel like, oh, that jerk came here and infected everybody. I just felt like I'm in the middle of it and there's nothing else I can do but go to work.
Well,
Yeah.
the old rule was if you're sick, as long as you feel like you can get up, you could come in anymore. But nowadays, that's not really the case. If you have any case whatsoever,
I know,
then
then they're saying the opposite. But my grandfather was a coal miner. Could you imagine him? I'm sick.
He went to work sick.
I don't want, yeah, that's what I mean. These are my people. So
Yes.
I don't know. That's just in my head.
There are
I
definitely
wanna-
still jobs where he does not matter if you can get up, you're going. So
Yeah. So
But we're
that-
glad you're better.
Yeah,
Yes.
thank you. Almost better. 90%. Still have like a little nasally, but I think I'm definitely sure I'm not infectious.
Well, that's good.
Well, I'm glad you told us that now.
Well, I wouldn't have gathered then. It
We
wouldn't
wouldn't
even
have
have
wanted to do a podcast that day with you. To
That
be in
would've
a
wanted, I know.
confined,
Been the shortest
Yeah, to
podcast
be in a
ever.
small little space.
Well, our guest today was supposed to be Fred Lettieri,
Oh,
who's
yeah.
a WNEP
yeah.
legend and now a sales guy. And he emailed me that day and he said, I'm so glad you canceled it. He said, because I didn't want to get sick from you and I didn't know how to tell you.
yeah, what's the polite way to say, I don't want to be near you?
Yeah, I
have-
know. I said, Fred, come on. You don't have to act like that. Just tell me. Stay away. But didn't worry. He'll be here next time.
Awesome.
All right. So we're going to start answering your questions. The people write in. Brownbag at WNEP.com.
Oh, I forgot about the camera.
Oh, yeah.
dear.
Oh, look at Mindy. She starts.
She,
Wait,
like,
she goes like.
poses.
For those of you who only listen, she flicked her head back
was like, oh.
and she whirled her fingers past her ear and she gave the fakest smile I've ever seen
It
in my
doesn't
life.
look like a camera. It looks like a microphone. It's so strange, isn't
Look
it?
at how she's lighting
Looks
up
like,
now for the camera.
Everything just changed.
Yeah, everything
kinda-
just changed. Now she's loving the camera. She's loving herself. She's loving being here.
I'm just excited about answering questions.
All right, go ahead and
Go
pick
ahead,
the first
Mindy.
one.
You want me
Brownbag
to?
at WNEP.com. It's
Do I
getting
dig
fat.
deep?
Yeah, it's getting
There's
really
a lot. Oh my gosh, how come we're getting so many
I don't-
questions?
We're almost
Questions
full.
keep coming, and we appreciate it. Don't let that
Are
stop
these
you.
fake questions, Joe? Have you been packing the bag?
I have not
All right.
packed with
I-
fake questions.
I can concur with him. They are pretty much real questions.
yeah,
So,
he's
yeah.
with me sometimes when these emails
Yeah,
come in.
they
So
are. They are coming in from.
We
people.
also have the right, if they're too long, they're uncomfortable, or you just don't want to answer it, just pass it on.
All right.
I don't know, because...
I don't know if this is really a question or an observation.
Ooh.
Joe, the man who always plays down holidays. It's February 28th. Enough with your St. Patrick's Parade in Scranton.
Oh,
It's just a big drunk fest. I like your friend, but not as a dysfunctional leprechaun. I can't stand the overdone leprechaun. And that's
I love
from
this.
Tom and Archibald.
Meanwhile, it's March 18th that we still are talking about the leprechauns.
And we
And the
still have
parades.
inflatable leprechauns in
All
the
right,
backyard.
so I'm going to defend St. Patrick's Day by me first saying I have zero Irish heritage. None. Yet it's my favorite holiday of the whole year because green, it reminds me of spring. It just makes me feel good inside. Equinox. Here's where I am dysfunctional, and I admit it, it's my personality. I can't change it. There are no expectations for St. Patrick's Day.
That is true.
You don't have to visit a relative. You don't have to gather
Give
around
gifts.
a formal meal. No gifts to buy. No cards. No. Society hasn't grabbed on to St. Patrick's Day yet. I don't know why.
You mean capitalism has? Well, it
Capitalism.
kind
They
of
have
has.
with all the
Well,
green.
Yeah.
green
but there's still no
decorations.
could you think of another holiday where there's no expectation?
True.
There's no long mass.
You don't have to go buy gifts or any of that
Right.
kind of stuff.
That's true.
Even a holiday which I love, 4th of July, you're kind of expected, all right, we got to go see fireworks.
Right.
We
Or
gotta
have a barbecue.
You got to have a barbecue. Christmas, I mean, come on. It's nothing.
Well,
Many
that's all
expectations.
tradition. There's all
Christmas is
tradition.
all pomp and circumstance.
Thanksgiving literally is a tradition and
Thanks-
an expectation. So.
Thanksgiving, it's still all about
You have to go to a dinner.
food, and grandma's making this, and these are all great things, but they're a little stressful for me where I'm kind of an iconoclast and I don't like traditions. So here's St. Patrick's Day. It steps in and it says, do whatever you want. Do nothing if you want, but it feels good.
You do have to wear green, otherwise you get
You don't
pinched.
have to wear green.
You'll get pinched.
Is that
Or you can wear orange
Yes,
or
right?
white.
Oh yeah, well we got to wear green on TV.
Yeah.
Otherwise we get called out.
okay? But yeah, that's minimal.
that's minimal. Yeah.
And as for the drunk fest, I don't know. I don't drink at all. I social drink. So there's no obligation to get drunk, is there?
No, I don't.
No.
There's no. I
love the
didn't-
holiday.
Yesterday was St. Patrick's Day, and I didn't have a single sip yesterday. You know.
Yeah,
I
it's
didn't have that.
it's amazing how.
Plus, I
beautiful
took the
St.
kids to the Wilkes-barre parade, and we were just at the parade. We didn't go to a bar or anything. The kids loved it. Loved it.
It's all about, for me, it's happiness, it's joy, it's spring. I love everything about St. I think about it all year round. So yeah, that's my thing.
Well, Tom doesn't like the dysfunctional leprechaun, just so you know.
he has his enemies.
He does. There's people who hate him.
He hate yes, he's very polar.
Yeah.
Why is that?
He's polarizing. I don't know, because he's so energetic.
goofy.
Maybe. I don't know. It is funny, though. There's
It's
some
hard
people
to-
like, I don't want to.
I don't
I
wanna
mean,
see
if you
that.
call yourself dysfunctional, I mean, you're bound to get some hectic opinions. So.
That's true.
Oh, Joel. But everything about him to me is funny.
Honestly,
too.
I
love it.
listened to the last podcast
Yeah.
with Jose, and I thought it was kind of funny.
Yes, yes. There are armies of people who love this podcast and Jose, and we're going to keep him coming once a year.
Yes.
I knew it would be an interesting podcast because my edit booth is like probably a good 10, 15 feet down with this glass and everything sealed off, and I could still hear the podcast.
Nice.
Oh my goodness, we were out of control.
All right,
Yeah,
I'm
I knew it
picking.
would be an interesting one.
Sorry, Tim.
No,
So
it's
it's no,
my
it was-
favorite holiday. Take that,
one of-
case closed. I justified
It's
it.
one of
too.
my favorite holidays too. So
All right.
Whoa, I
top
love
three.
that.
Well, Tim is now on the parade committee.
Oh, boy.
Did you know that?
Yeah.
Oh, John said, "Oh
It's
boy,
long.
Tim is on the parade committee, so we have big shots." from the parade
I'm
area.
big on my Irish heritage. I love it.
John, I think he's editing. He's self-editing.
It's just
he's
so long.
Deleting.
There's some-
Could you get to some of the highlights?
There's some
maybe?
letters that are capitalized.
Yeah.
You know what?
The
I don't-
overall message. You don't like it. What's
It just doesn't feel like it has any. There's no question here.
Oh.
It's just complaining about the Oscars and the heat index and wind chill.
Is this written by Joe?
Tim, you read it, and I'm going to pick another one.
Tim, every
Tim
time
can-
I laugh, I still have.
When there's
Wait a minute. The first sentence is this is a comment. This isn't even a question.
and when
Okay,
and
that's
when
all right.
it's
It's a
when it's 20 lines long.
It
That's
is
too
very-
long.
It is a very long question.
So there's wind chill Oscars. All right, Joe, you work on this one. while
Here's one that's
you're gonna
very
summer.
simple.
Let's
All right, let it go.
How can I watch the morning weather on my iPad later in the day?
Now this sounds almost like a fake plug.
I know,
This
but
is our
it's
promotions department.
the promotions-
real.
Who
Our
asked
digital
that?
director Sean's sitting right here.
yeah.
Does it say it's from Sean?
You can watch.
Sean's gonna tell everyone. Okay, here we go.
You can watch almost all of our news and weather and much, much more at WNEP Plus on Roku, Fire TV, and almost all smart TVs. Find it today. Search WNEP.
John, that
How'd
was
I do, Sean?
perfect.
I couldn't have said it better myself.
It was
And Joe,
perfect.
was the anchor voice good?
It was great. But it's funny, I get that question from a lot of people who they're like, I cut my cable and I miss watching you guys. And I'm like, how do you not know?
Yes, you can watch us.
Everybody has a phone. Everybody has, I hope at least you can get a flat screen smart TV for $99.
Yeah.
Come on.
That has Roku built right into it.
It's built right in. So just get this done and get yourself the WNEP app. You go to the App Store on the TV or your phone, and you can watch us all the time, live, free.
Anywhere.
Free,
You go to
anywhere.
Florida for the winter, you can watch us every single morning from Florida.
You're sitting
correct.
on a plane.
And a lot of people do.
Flying to Paris, you can watch us 30,000 feet in the sky for free.
My parents are around 80 years old, and they're streaming WNEP every morning
That's
on
so
Roku.
easy.
They're outside the market.
Yep.
So it's easy.
Even my parents in Iowa do it.
Even your parents in Iowa do it.
Yeah.
Or my daughter, I'd do that too. I'd
Yeah.
watch.
Yeah.
And the thing is now, remember, you used to make fun of me because I'm not a TV guy, but I have 14 TVs in my
Yeah,
house.
I know. I still make fun of you for
3
that.
kids. I have a TV everywhere. I don't know why. But now, they used to all have cable injected into each one, wires all over the place. Now, yeah, hanging on the wall, no cable required.
It's amazing.
Wi-Fi.
Yeah.
And so you can watch WNEP as easy as ever before.
Joe
is-
can watch it from his bathtub.
I can watch it from my toilet.
Yeah, exactly.
Well,
It is fascinating, though, how we have seen in our careers it completely change
Yeah.
the way people can get TV. And so they're streaming. We have people now that are getting antennas again. I put an antenna up to get the local stations so that I
Why
can get
not?
this because I want to get the sports. We cut the cord.
yes, yes.
Right.
So I want live Steelers games on, weekends
Oh,
and
of
stuff
course.
like that, the live sports, and we can get that through the antenna. So that solves that without spending $200 for DirecTV.
Yeah.
Yeah.
My TV bill now is down to like $60 a month, which is
Wow.
great.
That's awesome.
And that's mainly just for internet because, yeah, we got apps for everything.
Yep.
Watch WNEP
That's the
live.
way we are too. Yeah.
I watch Philly news. Don't be offended, you two.
Wow. I didn't know that.
Sometimes I need a break from WNEP.
Yeah.
And I'll watch the news from Philly because I downloaded their app. I don't know. I just want to see what's going on elsewhere.
Yep.
needs to recharge.
All right. Did you summarize
Tim,
this
is
letter
that-
or no?
I don't.
Worthwhile.
All right. I'll read this. I'll read
you
this
wanna-
if I get to pick another one.
Okay.
Deal.
You can even read
Are
it.
you going to read that whole thing?
I'll read the whole
We'll be
thing.
here an hour.
No, we
Yeah,
won't.
you wanna read that whole thing?
I'll read it quick.
Summarize,
quick.
Tim.
No, I'll read it. Look, this person took the time to write it. I'll at least
Whoa,
acknowledge that.
all right.
See, I just threw it aside.
Okay, this is from. This is from Mike. It doesn't say where.
Could you
from.
do it in their rant voice?
No, I'm not going to do it in a rant voice. Again. All right. All right. This comment is for Joe Snedeker. Joe, you of all people are the last one that I would imagine buying into this meteorological, astronomical change of season nonsense. It's almost as big a scam as the Oscars. It ties right in with the media hype of heat index and wind chill.
Oh,
The
that's true.
The seasons change on the equinoxes and the solstices, not on the 1st of March, June, September, and December, just as there is no wind chill or heat index, but rather only temperature, wind speed, and humidity. What's next? 4 new interseasons: Wing, Sprummer, Sol, and Finter.
John, you
Well-
avoided the best
well, these-
It's too long.
Why did you?
Well,
This
these-
is the
It's
best
too
question ever.
long.
Will these be what we call the periods in between the meteorological and astronomical start of each season? Give me a break, Joe. I'm disappointed in you.
Oh, this-
I thought you were ideologically opposed to all this made-up media nonsense.
He is-
Have a great day. Tomorrow will be a beautiful winter day.
Maybe that was a good one.
He is right. He is right about everything.
Yes.
Maybe not everything.
Except, here's my problem. You
I
guys,
still like wind chill, but go ahead.
no, wind chill's a scam. Everything
No, it's not.
Everything is a scam that he is talking about. Look at John. He's
love-
looking it over.
I love the in-between. See, I can't believe you, after you read that, I
It
can't
was
believe.
just too. I couldn't read all that.
I would have glad.
So he has a problem with guys like me who say March 1st is the beginning of spring instead
Right.
of the. Sir, I ask you, what's so special about the position of the tilt of the Earth in reference to the seasons? That's astronomical. It has nothing to do with feelings, length of day, weather events. So here's how I always justify having the season start on the 1st of March. Let's go with March. Here we go.
Okay.
So March 1st begins spring. March, April, May. So don't you think by early June, most people consider June 1st, 2nd, 3rd, isn't it summer? I mean,
Definitely.
June.
Yeah.
Definitely.
By that point,
By
yes,
that-
definitely.
You don't want to wait till June 21st. The kids have been out of school for 2 weeks, and you're just saying, "Oh, summer starts
But
now."
then on the positive side of that, fall doesn't start till September 21st. Though.
no, I think
So
that
it
goes.
seems that
it
way.
goes with it because then you have June, July, and August, the summer,
Yeah.
and then September. You're in school. The leaves are starting to change. Come on, it's not summer anymore.
Let's early September around here still feels like summer most
It does.
times.
But if you go by his version of the seasons, remember, fall wouldn't start until September 21st, and it wouldn't end until December 21st.
Which that's crazy.
It's already winter.
Yeah, it's
3
already-
days before
Yeah.
Christmas,
Yeah.
and it's still fall.
It feels like winter, like mid-November. Let's be.
Yeah.
I'll
Right.
give him that. That's true.
So no one's going to call 3 days before Christmas fall. It's off.
Maybe we should adopt this middle season.
You know, it's
stuff. I mean,
interesting
that's-
because
that's
I
a-
didn't think about this at all before I started on the morning show because the other meteorologists just don't talk about meteorological
Yeah,
spring and
they
things
don't.
like that. But it makes absolute sense.
Yeah.
When we talk about summer, we always on TV have to say Memorial Day is the unofficial kickoff to
what-
summer.
what's that?
But our mindset of summer is right after Memorial Day to Labor Day.
Yeah.
And if you
Yeah.
think of summer weather, it is not summer-like to stay until after Memorial Day.
Right.
Exactly.
June 1st. And as soon as you hit Labor Day, it is downhill pretty quickly.
Yeah,
We
it
get
is.
some
Yeah,
warm
it is.
weather in September,
You might get a
days tail
week or
off.
two,
but
then,
it's,
yeah.
you know, we're falling off pretty quickly. And then you think the same thing. It's like early December, that's not fall.
That's not fall.
No.
But, you know, in his defense, all of these things are human constructs. There is no such thing as 4 seasons. We made that up.
Yeah.
True.
You know, these
What's
are
his name? I got to apologize.
Mike.
Mike, I'm sorry. I saw a paragraph. I got
Are
overwhelmed.
you with him on the Oscars, though? That's a scam? Or no?
Over.
I kind of enjoyed the Oscars.
They were good this
Oh,
year.
I
yeah.
think
see,
Tim took the
loves
day
that.
off.
He's a film guy.
He's a
Yes,
film guy.
he
Yeah.
took the day off just to watch the Oscars.
I was off that day. I'm not going to say.
Moving on.
But
Pick
they
a
were
question.
they were good this. I'll say this: they were good this year. I agree with most of the awards, and
Okay.
I was glad what won, and there were
But
a lot
it's
of good
so
awards given.
self-congratulatory and
It is.
dramatic, and
You're
they
correct.
cry and talk
But
about their life. Who cares?
But there are some people who are deserving of recognition because, I mean, like, there are people who have been doing this for years and have been spearheading the industry financially and critically and getting people back into theaters. And a lot of them were rewarded this year, like the people behind Oppenheimer, the people behind Barbie, the Godzilla movie that came out this year. They were awarded VFX, and that was one of the most successful international films to come out
I don't
in
have
the
a
last
problem with
couple
the
of
awards,
years.
but then the crying and the thanking.
It's an emotional moment for people. They grew up on this. I mean, they
All right,
can't
let's
help
do
them.
this with any other profession. Let's have engineers celebrate themselves for inventing things. Could you imagine a physician for inventing a new virus, for example, a vaccine, going up there crying, saying, and I want to thank everyone for giving. They don't. It's to me, it's pathetic.
They're not theater people.
But it's
Yeah,
It's
true.
annoying
They know
and
how
pathetic.
to cry.
Yes.
But some people, it's emotional. I mean,
I don't get that,
I can't knock anybody for getting emotional at something.
but it's overly self-important.
We
Yes,
don't make
there's
fun
a-
of
it's
you for
very
getting
pomp.
emotional, Joe.
It's very pomp.
it can be very pompous. I'll give you
narcissistic.
that. Usually, when a horrible movie wins, it's very pompous. This is from Philip Sardo.
Philip or Philip?
Philip.
You're heavy on the P.
Yeah. From Archbold. Is the degree of tilt on the Earth's axis constant?
Oh, no, that varies. So currently we're at 23 and a half. It swings between about 22 and 24 on a, I think that's a 25,000 year cycle. So,
25,000 years. Okay.
what do you mean?
Well, I don't think we can really.
For the Earth, that's
We
a blink
can't
of an
really-
eye.
I know, but we're not going to be able to understand that.
Yeah, but in part, that's what forms the periodic ice ages.
Okay.
That formed the Great Lakes that influenced today's weather with snow showers.
Okay. Gotcha.
I really can't wait for the
Feelings
year
are hurt.
27,800 to
Yeah.
see the new constant.
24,000 years is brief.
Okay.
Well, in the grand scheme of things, for us, it's, well, an eternity.
It's fairly stable for human lifetime.
Fairly stable.
Fairly stable. Well, we won't notice much of a
Percentage
difference.
degree. All right.
All right, get in that. Get your hand in
I
that
just
bag.
want everyone to know they're laughing at me. I don't know why they're laughing at me.
Stick your hand in that
I'm
bag
going
and
deep
pick
He's
because-
digging
something
deep.
out.
You know when you get deeper, they're moister.
Ew.
I just
dear.
think they're older.
I didn't need to hear that.
Does that have to do with the heat
growing at
index?
the bottom of this?
Well.
I watered that mistake thinking it was the peace plant one time. Sorry.
Whoops.
John killed the peace plant.
Yeah. Moving on.
I was so frightened Halloween 2023 when I turned on the morning news and saw Joe in a suit. Please don't scare me like that again. This was from Kristen in Sullivan County. Mindy, what's with that?
I'm trying to remember.
was my
this is
bit
the
this year.
when he was
That was
serious, Joe.
That's right. It was
That
Susan.
was my bit this year.
Oh my
great-
gosh! It totally freaked people out.
I still hear
I
about
know.
it.
You still hear about
Yeah.
it? Are you serious?
Yeah. And just how people thought that management had finally cracked down on him and shut him down. And they thought, oh my gosh, they got to him.
They got to.
They thought you were going to change forever.
There was panic.
That's a message to everyone. Be yourself. It was
Be
hard for
Short,
me. It was
in
hard
short,
for me
the
to
greatest
do.
morning newscast I've been here for.
Are you serious? It
One
was
of
hard
them.
for me to
One of
do.
them.
It was
That
hard for
that
us,
and
too.
the-
To not crack a joke or not say anything off.
I'll
color.
say this: if I was doing camera in the backyard, that thing would have been so shaky. I would have been laughing so hard. It
was funny.
That one and the intro of the Summer of the Chicken. I think were the two best morning shows.
Oh, that was good.
That
yeah.
was a great day.
That was good.
That's-
Now, at the end, like you guys, I'm sorry, I have no memory because I've been working mornings too long. At the end of the show, did you break character? Or
I don't
what
think so.
I don't
No,
think
you didn't come back until the next day. I remember. Yeah.
Yeah, I don't think so.
Really?
The character going.
How
kept
did
it
you
all
do
morning.
it?
I don't know how I did that. And how did I stay in a suit? That's one of my only suits.
Yeah,
That's
I know.
my wedding outfit.
Right,
You
and
know,
your funeral outfit.
And my
did.
funeral outfit.
It did give us one of the greatest pictures in the history of this when him and Andy stood next to each
Oh,
other.
that was
yeah,
classic.
yeah.
Oh,
Yes.
I want to get that framed and put it. That's a
We
phenomenal
should.
picture. That's a great picture.
Oh my
I'll
gosh.
do, hey, we'll do something similar this Halloween.
That
See
is
how
so
things
funny.
go.
You scared
Well-
people, Joe.
We should maybe.
All right, Mindy, let's
All right,
see what you
come on.
My
got.
arms
one
aren't
here.
very long. I can't get very deep. Oh, jeez.
Oh, she ripped it.
I rip them
Oh,
every
no.
single time. This is
Oh, it's
another
a long
paragraph.
one.
Oh, my goodness.
Well, Tim's the great summarizer. If you want to pick another
if you
one, let
wanna-
him
Let's see.
handle that one.
I watched your forecast today. I heard you say the word height. The
What
other
is it
day,
now?
you also said
What?
I think height.
Height.
It should be height. I know. Oh, yeah. I know this is a valley thing because I used to say that too until my husband corrected me 35 years ago. He's not from PA, so he was able to spot it quickly. There is no word such as height. The word is height. I think because we often say it with width.
Oh my God. I am
Oh, I
58
get it.
years
height
old.
and width.
Height
Yeah,
and
yeah.
I am 58 years old.
Do you say height? I don't know
A
if I've-
fairly well-educated
Height
man.
and width. Yeah, that's a.
You have your master's.
And I did not know this is true, what she's saying.
Yeah,
So
it's
she's
height.
saying it's height and not height.
It's
Right.
height?
height. I do hear people
There's
say
both.
that say that wrong all
There's
the time.
both. I mean,
Sean, help
No.
us.
It's not
Is this
height.
true?
it's not. There's no.
No,
height. I've
there's
heard
no
height.
height.
I'll Google it.
Sean's Googling.
I
There
could have
is
sworn
no
height
height.
was a.
Height?
'cause
Maybe
I've
in
heard-
Lackawanna
may-
County.
Yeah,
Wait a
maybe
minute,
that's
so-
many,
but
many
it's-
words are.
Yeah, it's
Yes, it
incorrect.
has its
If
own
I say
language.
the width and the height.
No, that's
That's
wrong.
wrong.
Yep.
Height and width.
Height.
Height.
I am
That's
an
probably
idiot.
an euphemism,
Hard
don't you
T.
think?
That's what she's saying.
Is
She
that-
said it's a
Many
valley
word-
thing.
I
Many
betcha.
words are very variable
height.
in this county.
Yes.
Sean is checking. Maybe
I
there's
could've
two
checked.
pronunciations of this. He's a valley man too. So he's
Oh,
not
funny.
gonna
The subject line is leap year height.
Oh, okay.
That's
I
funny.
have to say height for the rest of my life.
Wow.
Can you change?
I can't change.
That's hard.
That's a good one that she pointed that out.
Yeah. That was Diane.
I'm still doubting her though. That's
No,
how-
she's right.
So
Stand by.
old-fashioned spelling and is a mistake in modern English. It
Ooh.
does say, explains, because width and depth both end in th.
Yeah.
It's not uncommon for people to add that sound to the end of height as well. So,
Well, it's not but it's not a word, right?
not a word.
Yeah.
Not a word.
But I've heard that many times. Wow, that's something. The more you know.
I hate myself.
You shouldn't hate yourself.
I'm a
It's a
loser.
normal thing.
And you're
No,
from
you
here, and
shouldn't.
it's just something people say.
I'm a loser.
Oh, that was mine, wasn't it?
Yeah.
I'm a failure and a loser as a human being.
No, you are not.
Height?
You are not a loser.
Wait, I have to say height.
You are
Height.
not a loser. Stop.
From
it.
now on.
Height.
Do you want us
That's
to
a
remind
word that
you?
I know very well.
Please
Height.
remind me.
Height.
John, now you're almost NEPA guy. Did you say height?
Ready?
Here we
He's just
go.
moving
This is
right
sticking to the theme that I tossed aside before.
Oh my.
Joe, please help. Can't you straighten out all the other weather people? All I want to know is the low temp. We don't care about the wind chill. Thank you.
Wow.
My I love the wind chill.
Someone's got to get them in line.
Here's the problem with the wind chill. I say it every time. Maybe you've never heard my rant because it's true.
Oh, I've heard it.
The wind chill factor. When air blows across your body, of course it removes heat from your body quicker, makes you feel colder. Plus, evaporation of moisture from your skin causes cooling. Wind makes you feel colder, no doubt about it. But to put a number on it is the worst case scenario devised by these calculations decades ago. And it only applies to these conditions. No one realizes that. The wind chill factor, give me a scenario, Mindy. It's 30 out today, but the wind is out of the northwest at 20, and they tell you it feels like 0.
I don't think it would go from 30 to 0, would
Very
it?
easily.
Really?
That 0 has been calculated by a person who is naked, in total darkness, and 30 feet above the ground where the wind is average.
Maybe I'm flying and I don't know. I mean,
The wind chill factor assumes you do not have any clothes on. It assumes the sun is not hitting your flesh, and it assumes you are at the place where the wind is measured at 30 miles an hour, which is 30 feet up.
So your dislike of the wind chill factor, it's not that the wind makes you feel colder.
The wind makes you feel colder. So leave that alone. Tell the public
You
the
don't
wind
like
is going to make
putting a number to it.
Putting that number is a lie because it is a worst case scenario if you are naked, 30 feet above the ground, and in darkness.
And do you think that number is just used so much now as a way of hyping
Yes.
the forecast, the
kinda,
cold?
yeah.
Because
And it's
I do
because-
notice now, if you watch the national news when there's cold coming, they don't even mention the actual temperature.
They don't mention the temperature because that's not as dramatic enough, and it takes their
It's
power away.
always wind chill factors
Yes, because
below
they want
0.
those big numbers and the hits and the eyeballs.
They
oh
see
my
that
God.
they see that minus sign and then they can't help themselves.
Yeah, they love that.
well,
So
do
yes,
me a
the
favor.
wind makes you feel colder. So I often say it's going to be windy, you're going to feel colder, but I don't put a number on it.
But the thing is, I still think that there should be some sort of number on it. So I want you to devise a new calculation that will be more accurate than being naked 30 feet above the ground and in the dark.
You know what mine is? It's the opposite. It's a feel-good number, the Milo effect.
Oh, that's
See,
true.
I took it the other way.
He's
that.
already
That's
ahead of the
true.
curve.
I'm ahead of the curve, yeah. So I want
Tell
to
us
stay
what
with
the Milo effect is.
So if today, for example, it's going to be 40 only, but it's April or March, and the sun is out, and you're outside, and the winds are light, it's not going to feel like 40. It's going to feel like 50 because the sun is so powerful high in the sky, cutting through less atmosphere. It's going to hit your flesh and make you feel uber warm.
More
In the same way that if
intense. What is it?
More intense light
output.
Yeah.
That's it. Okay.
So that's my problem with the wind chill. Yes, wind takes heat away from your body, but to put a number on it is a big media lie. I'm going to put that on my headstone. I'm going to go down with this thing. Instead of
Taking it to the grave.
instead of Joe, lovingly, blah blah blah. I'm just gonna
Wonderful husband.
Yeah, no,
loving
I know.
father.
Wind chill
Hates
is
the
a
wind
lie.
chill.
Wind chill
In that order.
Wind chill factor is a lie.
Loving husband, loving father really hates
happens,
the
and
wind
it happens with a lot of things, is that could be a helpful number just so that you realize, oh, it's going to feel a lot colder today in the wind. But as with everything, it gets taken and
It gets taken to it, yeah.
and
an
turned
exaggerated
into an
level.
extreme.
Yeah.
And
why-
I mean, you can hear it right now. Millions of Americans below 0 wind chills
wind
this
chill.
morning.
Wow.
Meanwhile, we're talking about millions of Americans in Minnesota who they're just used to dealing with below 0 wind chill.
Yeah.
But-
Yeah,
And I
it's a
didn't even-
sounds like a Tuesday night.
Yeah.
But I didn't even mention the other factor, which is the human condition. If you are a large person with a lot of blubber, you're not going to be as cold as someone who is thin and frail. Everyone experiences that cold differently. How dare they put a number on it? If it's windy and 30, my wife will tell you it feels like 30 below 0. She's an exaggerator. I would be like, nah, it's not too bad. So everybody feels
It's
this
all
different. Yeah.
It's not too bad.
Ah, it's not too bad. Tough it up.
All right.
All right, Tim.
Okay, let's get a good one here. I'll try and get a nothing wrong with it, but let's try and get a non-weather one.
Yeah, let's get something different, weird here.
We need one of those completely random ones.
I know. Let's get a random one. Completely different. Weird.
This is
Is it a completely different random weird one?
yeah. This is more of a thought. This is from his name is Jeff Lyon, and he said, "I thought I saw Joe in the crowd at today's Flyers game," and this is from February 24th. Can I pick another one? I don't know if I can.
I
pick
think you should
another
pick a
one.
different one.
Pick another
Yeah,
one.
Because
definitely.
I think I know the answer to this question.
You weren't
I
at the
have
Flyers
not been
game.
to a hockey game
Yeah.
in decades, and I don't think I've ever been to a Flyers game.
So
I
it
used to
wasn't
go to-
Joe.
I used to go to the
Wait.
Binghamton Whalers.
I was going to say, you're a hockey player. How come you don't go to
You're
watch
going
the
to tell
games?
everyone why, because of my problems.
Because you hate watching
I
other
can't
men
sit
play
still.
sports.
Yes,
Yeah.
I can't sit still. I would rather take out the garbage
Ooh.
at the hockey rink
Then
than
watch
sit
the
there and
game.
watch
This is,
the game.
Tim's intrigued.
This is a
Uh-oh.
question directed to Andy Palumbo.
Ooh,
Oh,
I should go
so-
grab him.
Do we want no?
My husband and I noticed that Andy often features a story from Buffalo, Western New York, just about every weekend in his morning broadcast. We enjoy it as our daughter goes to school in Buffalo. What's his connection to the area? Signed, Chris from Music.
I know the answer to it.
You do know the answer.
You
I think
do.
I do.
How do you
too,
know the
yeah.
answer? Well, first of all, is that true?
Yeah, I work the weekend, and yeah, we usually, well, not all the time, but we do like to run stuff from the Buffalo market. Yeah.
So we're owned by a big company, Tegna, that owns, what is it, like 40 TV
40.
stations?
It's like
44, I think.
40-ish, yeah.
Yeah.
And so because we're part of this big group, we have access to the content that all the other stations in Tegna cover. Buffalo is one of the closest Tegna stations to us. There's one down in the Harrisburg area. There's Buffalo. So Andy has to fill, what, 4
hours?
Not 4 hours anymore.
3
3
hours.
hours of
Well,
news.
3 hours of news.
So he's
yeah.
filling 3 hours of news on a Saturday, Sunday morning. He's looking at the other Tegna stations to see what kind of content they have.
And usually it's during the fall, most of the time, usually in the fall and winter, because the fall, a little team called the Buffalo Bills play there, and they've got a lot of great highlights and footage. And also, they happen to get some of the biggest snowfall in America, so that's another whenever significant weather comes around.
But is there a station in Philly?
There isn't. Tegna
There
doesn't
isn't.
have a
Tegna
station. in
doesn't.
Philly.
Not know
No.
that.
If something comes from Philly, it has to come from ABC.
Harrisburg.
Harrisburg, yes.
We do have a
Yes, we have a
station.
Hayes-
So there's only those two in Pennsylvania.
Are you going to just throw out
I'm trying
names?
to go get
No,
a
for
wise-
here close to us, it's Buffalo, Harrisburg, Hartford.
Oh,
Yeah, there's a
okay.
Connecticut one.
Yeah.
And then that's about it in the Northeast.
Oh.
And
Yeah,
then
there's not
Tegna
a lot.
owns a lot of big market stations: Washington, Seattle,
Denver,
Atlanta.
Yeah.
There's
Yeah.
a lot.
But we have access to all of their rundowns, is what we call it in
Yes.
the news business.
Where we
How
can see
about
all their
our-
stories.
Keen viewers. That's
Yeah.
that is
unbelievable.
Very
interesting.
keen,
They
yes.
notice that stuff.
So
Wow.
a little tidbit from my childhood related to Buffalo is that I grew up in a small town in northwestern PA. Our cable as a kid was just from an antenna on top of a mountain, whatever stations they picked up. One of them was from Buffalo, New York. So one of the local stations we got was from Buffalo.
So
Are you a
weird.
Buffalo guy? You feel a connection?
No, but if you go just about 20 minutes north of where I grew up, it's in the Buffalo TV market. So lots of Bills fans just to the north of
yes,
us.
I do like the Bills fans up there. They are fun.
All right.
Is this good or bad?
I think it sounds good because I like, we have to get a little weird here. Keep it, this is daring.
We
Great.
do that.
Great.
Here
This
we
is
go.
to everyone.
Daring.
You're invited to a friend's house for dinner, and you do. Look at you! See, you're laughing already.
I don't know if I want to know where this is going.
I don't know. I didn't finish the sentence yet. This is for everyone. You're invited to a friend's house for dinner, and you do not like the food that you're being served. Would you eat it? Stuff it in your napkin? What would you do, Derek?
Huh.
I mean, I would just be like, this isn't my thing, and go somewhere afterwards.
No,
probably.
you wouldn't.
Yeah.
You would do.
Well,
All right, so
coming from experience, when I was younger, I was a picky eater, and my family knew that. So if I didn't eat anything at like a dinner, like this is gonna sound ridiculous to all of you, like I wouldn't eat turkey for the longest time at Thanksgiving. I would never eat anything. I would always wait till I got home, till I was like 10 or 11.
You don't like turkey?
I love it now, but when I was really young, I had like the worst palate ever. It was really bad.
Yeah, but turkey is like.
But like no one would have, because they knew I had so maybe make that excuse. Like I have a very picky palate, so and people are pretty forgiving
Let's
with that.
get deeper with this. Mindy has a little party for us, the morning crew. We go over her house.
I'm serving Brussels sprouts.
Yeah, because Mindy, to me, you're this very progressive, liberal,
Am I?
learned, diverse person.
I guess that's
Whereas-
a compliment, I
Whereas
think.
me, I'm more like a caveman. So
Well, that's true.
So if I came over
Your
to your
words.
house and you had give me something exotic.
Well, what if I was serving turkey hoagies with mayonnaise?
yeah, now you're talking, baby.
With
Oh, I'm
mayonnaise.
saying because I hate mayonnaise. No, I think we're close enough. I'd be like, ew, mayonnaise, gross.
And I'd make you another one without the mayonnaise. I
So
would.
maybe Mindy's not a good example. 'Cause I
Yeah.
think if we
So,
went
yeah.
to Mindy's house, I'd be like, I'm not eating that.
Right.
find
Yeah.
But if you
Someone
go
who-
to someone
you're
trying to impress them. Yeah, maybe
you
your
don't know
boss.
them well.
Yeah.
Or someone who's very passionate about cooking. Think about that. Like your friend's
Oh,
house is
yeah,
like,
so
oh,
they're
they
very
real
passionate.
like they made
I
the whole
made
they made
something real
homemade
fancy.
They made homemade bread, homemade pizza. They spent hours slaving away, and they put the one topping you don't like on it. And
think
you have
I'm
to
just
say,
gonna eat it.
Yeah, I would
You're
just
gonna
eat
eat
it.
it.
I'm gonna just.
I
eat
would
it.
just eat it.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I don't even think that's an option for some people. I can't eat certain things. Could you? Or is this just me?
I think I would just do it.
Yeah, I would just do it.
Even stuff that I really wouldn't like, I think I'd
Yeah.
still eat it.
Brussels, like she said, Brussels.
Brussels sprouts.
He
although
likes
I like
Brussels
sprouts.
sprouts.
Squid.
Yeah, I like
There's
Brussels.
a squid in front of you.
If
I would
it's
eat
cooked
squid.
right.
Yeah, he
Yeah.
likes squid too.
Squid's pretty good.
Yeah.
If there were black olives, it'd be really tough.
Yeah, I've eaten black
Really?
olives
I
before,
love
even though I
black
don't like
olives.
them.
No, it's
Deep
it's
fried-
the worst taste on earth.
Oh, I like black
Deep
olives.
fried pig ears.
Well, now
Rocky
you're-
Mountain oysters.
It probably
Wait.
tastes like chicken. So
That'd be tough.
I just made
I
Tim
can see
pause.
John, here's John. He's putting the triangle of pig ear. Oh.
and I think also like
That's
growing
so
up, my
sad.
parents were just like, "You're just gonna eat it." You know, we didn't
Yeah.
have much of a choice. My dad one time got in a standoff with me over a piece of apple pie that I wasn't allowed to leave the table until I tried a bite of the apple
Yeah,
pie,
no,
and
so
I
he
just
was-
sat there.
Is that right?
And so my mom was like, "Really? Over apple pie?"
Get out.
Did you not like apple pie?
I didn't then.
Are
now
you
I love apple pie.
serious? What was wrong
there's
with
the
you
thing,
as a
there's
child?
There are some things that people hate when they're younger.
Yeah,
They're
as
like
kids.
if I told you the list of foods that I didn't like when I was until the age of like 10 or 11, you'd all probably fall out of your chair. Like unbelievable. Turkey was one. I didn't like hot dogs for the longest time.
Yeah, these are
I didn't
typical
like,
kid things.
I wouldn't eat any. Well, this is very typical. I wouldn't eat veggies.
Mm-hmm.
I would have pizza with zero topping whatsoever on it. Like I didn't eat. I don't think I had a piece. I really don't think I had a piece of pepperoni till I was like 14, 15 years old.
Wow.
Like I just had a
What?
very picky palate. Like.
Wow.
What if it was a cricket fest?
Well, I would never eat a cricket. I wouldn't eat a bug.
I've eaten worse.
Yeah,
I think if
tried
someone's
cricket.
trying to serve a cricket, I'd be like, "Listen, you're serving crickets. I'm not eating that."
I don't care if it's covered in chocolate.
Yeah,
I'm not
because they
doing
know
it.
they're being
The politeness only goes so far.
But Joe has eaten a cricket on the air.
Yeah, stuff like that. I would
Yeah.
eat. Yeah.
Yeah.
I have no problem.
Which is kind of surprising. That, you won't eat mayonnaise, but you'll eat crickets.
Oh, I remember that morning. Yeah, you tried to get Liz Worthington eat a cricket, and she wouldn't do it.
She would not eat a
so,
cricket.
Yeah, I remember that. You were.
It's funny.
Yeah, I wouldn't do it either. I draw the line somewhere.
Mindy, you're up. How much
Oh my
longer
gosh,
do we
sorry.
have for you guys got
Got a good one, Mindy.
We probably got to go
Are we
soon,
Probably
right?
how long into this bad
37 minutes.
37.
We got one,
So
one more
we're getting
question.
there.
One more question
All
each,
right.
Mindy. Let's make it
Get a good
exciting,
one. What if
different,
it's- what if
fun,
it's
weird.
not a good one?
We need it weird. This is getting too standard issue, too status quo.
This is more for reporters and photographers.
Oh, here we go.
When traveling in the news vehicles, what etiquette is used between everyone? And is there anyone that has bad habits like not fueling?
Wait, this
from
could be
Steven.
This could be. I've been in these news vehicles.
Oh, yeah.
and they are gross. I'll tell you.
Some of them
What
are
is with some
disgusting.
people?
Look, I take care of mine. I make sure everything. Not that I make a pigsty out of it, but I make sure all of mine are clean and cleanly and full of cleanliness, like my own cars. I treat the news cars like it was my own car. But I have noticed sometimes there are some pretty gross news cars occasionally.
Yeah, but from someone who doesn't work here, and I don't know the answer to this. Is there a status quo for you guys? Is there a standard?
Yeah, you have
they
to fuel
say-
it, right?
Yeah, well,
You have to
our
gas it
status
up.
quo with gas is if it goes below half a tank, we have to fill it. And there have been some mornings where I've come in and it's like there's 4 miles on. I'm like, you got to be kidding.
Yeah,
Like,
sometimes
don't-
people aren't
on
doing it.
occasion. Now I understand if it's like people are in like Sullivan County and they're like driving. It's like 1 or 2 in the morning. I'll get a text to say, hey, like I'm sorry to like I understand that, but like you gotta some people gotta let us know about this.
What about like you're going through Chick-fil-A, and you get a large French fry, and you just throw the container in the corner? Is someone gonna notice that?
I would
and
be
say,
yes, I would be responsible for picking it up.
What if you didn't? Would someone say, "Gee"?
Well, yeah, because you sign your car out, so
Okay.
you got a paper trail. So
So yeah, you know who leaves all the junk in the car.
Yeah.
Yeah.
yeah, I there have been mornings where I'm like, oh boy. So, and I have been guilty of it once or twice. When I first started here, definitely I left one or two that I got an earful for it. So
I don't think people at home think about how our reporters and photographers, how much time they spend in these vehicles.
Yes, it's
in a viewership area of 20 counties.
a lot.
Yeah.
Sometimes you're spending 5-6 hours in the
It's
vehicle.
your
Sometimes it's your
office.
entire
Yeah.
shift
Yes.
Yeah.
in a
that you're
sitting
working
down
in a vehicle.
Yeah.
Sometimes just two people together all day long in the vehicle,
Yeah, it is.
eating fast food or
awkward.
whatever you brought. Yeah, there's some awkwardness there.
What about with your family members? Because my wife leaves fake fingernails, eyelashes.
I leave eyelashes in the
She
car
leaves
sometimes.
rings, jewelry, and I put my drink down, and it's filled with all these fake eyelashes, and they're sticking. This has got to stop.
I mean, sometimes it happens.
I vacuumed out
Makeup,
our SUV
stains.
that Rennie drives and that the kids are in all the time and stuff. And the stuff that I found in that vehicle last week,
Same thing.
vacuuming it out. Oh, yeah.
It wasn't eyelashes, it was French fries.
Lots of French fries,
No
lots of
eyelashes.
candy, no eyelashes. But then
Rings.
there's like nail files,
Yeah.
nail polish,
Yes.
all this stuff.
Beauty
Yeah,
implements.
it has stuff gets.
Does Dawn do her nails in like the front
don't know.
seat
That's
when
what
you're
I asked
like
her.
if
What
you're
do you
driving
do with 'em?
somewhere?
Yeah, oh, yeah.
Yeah, because there's so many times that the nail polish comes out and stuff
Yes.
while we're driving somewhere.
I'm the designated driver, and while I'm driving, she's beautifying herself.
That's
And then
sometimes that's
somehow-
the only time you have.
Yeah.
Sometimes
Again,
there's
when-
painting toenails while I'm driving down the street.
And another thing, like photographer, we have sometimes very long days, a lot of running around. If stuff falls through the cracks, like no big deal. Like
What do you mean,
seriously,
like a French fry?
Like yeah. I mean, it's a long day. It's a busy day. I mean, I can't blame. Like it could be a very hectic day. Like if something gets left, like really at the end of the day, it's no big deal. But like I would just try and do our best. Like I rarely, if ever, have problems with that. Most of our cars are usually pretty good.
All right. Well, you stated that. Did you ever leave fingernails or eyelashes in the car?
Well, no, because I don't do that stuff at work.
At
Good
work.
answer,
do
Tim.
eyelashes
The
in
key
general.
is at work.
At work.
At work. All right.
I like it.
Let's hope this is a good
I
one.
have done this before we move on. I have bitten my nails
I
in one of
know.
the
Your
channels.
toenails? Yeah.
No, my fingernails.
Oh, okay.
In the Channel 16 vehicle.
And just
Polite-
spit it
out.
I
Yeah.
think this one's great, and I think this is one
That's
that
it, she
a
just
lot of
dismissed-
people wonder, and I don't think you've gotten this one. When you're out for wham cam, what are some typical reactions you get from people? Both those who don't want to be on and those willing to be on. Are there people that see you and approach you on their own,
Oh, it's-
or are there people who run and hide?
I love it. Now, considering I've been doing this for 25 years of wham camming, and I get 3 reactions. It's people who they see me and they think Elvis has arrived and they come running over and they're the best ones because then we have fun, we interact, we dance, we tell jokes. They're perfect. The other ones are, oh my God, no, Mindy, it's always your gender, and they say the same thing.
Whoa.
Here, the ones who say no are always like, oh my God, I didn't
do my hair.
Yes,
Yeah.
I don't have makeup on. I didn't do
Because you're
my
usually
hair.
at grocery stores or stuff, and they're just run into the store.
I
Yeah.
get a lot of that, and I'm like, who cares? The guys
Well,
don't
we
say
care.
that.
We
I
care.
know the guys don't say that.
I will say, I'm not naming names, but I do know family friends who have been on your webcam, and the first thing they say is, "Oh, I didn't look ready for webcam."
Yeah, they
and
wanna
you
be ready.
still aired it anyways.
Well, because I say no, it's meant to be this guerrilla tactic. It's not.
but
meant
some
to
people
be.
don't like the gorilla tactic.
Come on. Well,
I
my
know
line
you
is,
do.
come on, I'm ugly, join me. Come on. But the other group is
Some motto to
some
live
I have to force. I'm like, hey, I'm Joe from WNEP. Can I ask you a question? And then they just go along with it. But a lot of times they're the sleepers because you would think that they're going to be terrible or they're not interested in this, and they have very creative and even enthusiastic answers. So you never know what you're going to get. But a third of the people seriously do. I don't know if it's a third. Maybe it's more like a quarter or less. Run from me. They
Literally.
run like hell.
Yeah.
No, Joe! And they just go, I love you, but no.
I've heard that from people that say, "Oh, if I ever saw Joe, I'd run."
They run, they
but then
run.
other people that want to see him, they're like, "Oh,
Yeah,
I would
yeah,
love to
wait,
get
yeah.
whammed sometime."
We
You
call
should
them runners.
You should do a
Yep.
compilation one day of just like all the people who run away from you. That would be
No,
really
because
funny.
we respect their
I
pride.
know,
they don't
I
wanna be
know,
on
I know,
TV.
I know.
Yeah,
But
Well,
it would
you
be
could
funny.
hide their identity and
We
still
could blur their
You
face
could
out. It's not like we don't know how to do
pixelate it a
Yeah.
little. Yeah, that'd be funny.
That would be funny. Yeah. All right, is it my turn?
It's your turn. Last one for everybody, and then we're out of here, baby. Not that we want to be out of here.
No, you're correct. Yeah, I enjoy it.
But we know people are only going to listen to this for so long.
Yeah.
Right. They've probably already turned us off already. It's
No,
okay.
No, I think we're how long into it? Their car drive isn't over yet.
Okay.
Okay.
Okay, just let it out, baby.
Can we read this? I'm
I
not
like
sure.
how he doesn't ask me because I would just say read it.
Exactly.
Is that fair? Can we do that?
Yeah.
Fair?
Much,
I'll read it.
yeah.
I don't know if we're going to give names.
No,
but
we're not. No,
Go for it.
Yeah, okay. Have any of you ever disliked or hated a coworker at WNEP? Obviously, you will not answer who it is, but are they still employed there? Have they since moved on or been fired?
See, this is where
From Howie from Mountaintop.
Howie from
Howie from
Mountaintop. This is where we're going to
Thank
see
you,
if you guys
Howie.
are real. Because Mindy, what's her line, John? Always
Everybody's
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 nice.
Come on, Mindy, tell us yes or no. You don't have to give us a name.
Oh, I've definitely disliked
Besides
a coworker
me.
before.
Yeah.
Besides you.
Okay, is
Yeah.
there anybody?
Yeah, oh yeah.
Okay, yeah.
I'm not going to give names, but yeah. Oh yeah.
Folks, our workplace is like a little segment of society. You're not going to like everybody.
Yeah.
You're not going to get
Correct.
along with everybody.
You are
You're
correct.
going to be polite, but that doesn't mean you like them.
Yeah.
Right?
I try not to be overtly mean or rude,
If
but
there
I,
was
you
a
know,
percentage, though, how many people do we work
I
with here?
pretty much work with. I mean, I think everybody's pretty nice. Oh, oops.
I'm going to say, yeah, it's a very low percentage.
very
yeah,
small.
Yeah.
It's very low.
That's one of the things that I noticed when I first came here is that compared to other TV stations, there's not really the diva people that
Yeah.
just
No.
drive you nuts. Like a couple of the stations I interned for, there were just people that as an intern, I couldn't even go near them
Is that
because
right?
you just sensed jerk from them.
Oh,
wow.
And someone that was so full of themselves.
Yeah.
And even though we're a business with a lot of people on TV and that can lead to big egos.
Yeah.
I think here compared to a lot of other places, we don't have a lot
We're
of
very
that.
humbling here.
Yeah.
I would
But
say
like you
that,
said,
yeah.
in any workplace, if there have been people over the years, it's like,
Yeah.
Yeah.
but those are the people you just kind of avoid.
Yeah. There was
It's
somebody.
a strong word, as they say.
Right,
Yeah.
right.
Dislike, annoyed by, yes. I don't hate them, but
Pe-
dislike, annoyed.
I use it by this, and this is for any job I've ever worked at. But like, sometimes you're different at work than you are outside. I judge your character for both. You know, at work, could you be rude? Sure, but if outside of your work you're nice, I'm like, okay, I take that into consideration. If you're rude at both, then that's a
I
problem.
don't see who's rude at work and then
Well,
nice
sometimes-
No, I never.
Stress
No,
can
I've
make
never.
people-
I've never come. Being honest, wholly honest, never had that issue here. So everybody that I've worked with here has been incredibly nice to me. So
There you go.
There used to be a guy who worked here named Chief, or who would call everybody Chief.
That's the hint who this person is?
Yeah, I'm not trying
That's
to give
the
a
person
hint.
He's not naming names.
I'm not naming names. I'm just saying he was so rude he wouldn't even learn everybody's name.
Oh, I see.
Yeah, I worked with him for years, and I don't think he knew my name.
Yeah, but I won't say who he is.
How could we?
This is the last one.
Yeah, but should we save this? How much time? This is good.
okay.
We should maybe
Why
save
not?
it.
One more. If it's a good
more,
one,
Sean,
one.
this
just
is it.
do
We're
it.
gonna.
All right.
Wow, this is deep
Ooh.
Uh oh.
and
Go.
uncomfortable.
Oh,
Hi guys, I'm getting married
sorry.
this year, but I'm
His
starting
accent.
to have serious concerns.
oh no.
Oh no.
My future husband's family does not flush the toilet after number 1. They only flush it after number 2, 3, etc.
3.
They
What's
say, what would 3 be? Vomit?
Maybe.
Maybe.
They say they do this because it saves water. I am all about saving the environment, but I think it's just cheap and frankly gross.
Well, some
So-
people with septic systems, right, do that. Like,
Listen,
This is the question you want to end it on.
no, because I have those same thoughts sometimes. If you're just putting a little urine in a gallon of water, maybe wait the second time to flush it.
Yeah, I've heard of people that have like
not-
if
You're
it's
a
yellow,
non-flusher?
let it mellow.
I'm not.
if it's brown, flush it
down.
down. I've heard the same thing.
I don't know where I've heard it.
I don't think it's gross at all to see urine unless it's excessive in a toilet. And I feel like I'm not going to waste all this water on one little quick urine drop.
You're an anti-flushite.
No, I'm not saying.
The anti-flush
saying
type.
I have done that before, but I wouldn't do it in someone else's house. In my house, I'd be like, yeah, I'll probably be back. As a 58-year-old man with a large prostate, I urinate a lot.
So she's saying
I don't know if I
it's
needed to hear
the
that.
bride
Bride to be.
is saying that her husband's family
Yeah.
They don't flush at all after that first.
So she's just gonna have to, if it bothers her about the husband, she's gonna have to lay down the law with her husband, and I'm sure she will, right?
Yeah, it's be like,
But what if he disagrees? What if he says the planet is more important than whatever you think?
Well,
This is
then
what we
she's gonna
grew up
work
with.
through. She's got to work through this.
Yeah.
So you guys are
She's
all-
got to decide right now if this is a deal breaker.
Right.
She's got to decide.
She's got to decide. If it's bothering her that much, there might be an issue.
Are all of
Can
you
we-
guys urine flushers? immediately?
I usually
I mean,
flush.
I was raised to flush whenever. Yeah.
I don't
flush.
even think about it. I just flush without thinking.
I did come from a house though that was majority guys, and we hardly ever put the seat down. And
Well, the
and
seat
my
down
mom just
thing-
kind of accepted it. And then when I got married, I was taught
Yes.
that I had to put the seat
See,
down.
the seat down thing is sexist, and that's got to stop too.
What?
Wait a minute.
You got to have the seat down.
So
What if
either
in the
you-
middle of the night I come in and it's dark and I just need to sit down and the
Chivalry
seat's
is
up?
over. Why should we put it down? Why shouldn't you
It's
put
much-
it up? Or the other way around? Why is it on us
The seat should be down.
at all times?
That's the way it's supposed to be.
Well, why not when
And
you're
if it's
done?
picked up, you got to put it back.
Yeah,
down.
why not
Yeah.
when you're done? Then put it up.
No.
Why? Why
'Cause
do we
it's
have
not-
to put it down for
That's
you?
not
But
how
you-
it works.
That's not how it works.
Joe.
if feminism is real, it's equal. We shouldn't chivalrize you guys, if that is a word.
No,
Like,
I'm just saying that's the way the toilet is supposed to look.
Oh yes, now there's
When you see a picture of a toilet,
toilet's supposed to look.
do you
what?
see it with the seat up or the seat down?
I mean,
There's
that's
no
true.
toilet
Yeah,
rolls.
I usually always see it down.
I
so,
mean, do you
yeah.
make your bed? Do you
You're saying a toilet by its default position is seat down.
that's the default.
More importantly, Mindy, where did we hear if it's yellow, let it mellow? If it's
I was-
brown,
I don't know
flush
if
it
we
down?
know.
I've
Where did
never
that
heard
come
that.
from? Because I've heard it.
I was just at a party one time and they had a little
Did the
sign.
sign?
You're the one that said it without.
I said it first, and she knew what I
Oh,
was
you
talking
knew
about.
it too. I
Yeah.
never heard that. But
Yeah.
that's going to be my new life quote.
If it's yellow,
That-
it's
is that-
mellow.
is that
If
going
it's
on-
brown, flush it down.
Is that
Yeah.
going on the tombstone?
Next to
Right under I hate the
wind
chill.
I hate the wind chill.
loving
wind chill.
husband, loving husband, loving father. I hate the wind chill. And then what? If it's
it's
yellow,
yellow,
If it's yellow, let it mellow.
mellow.
If it's brown, flush it down.
There you go.
That would be.
I don't hate the wind chill. It's a scam.
I
Okay.
can only imagine.
We
Folks-
wish that bride to be the best.
Yes,
wish
good
her
luck
the
with
best,
that. But I would definitely discuss this before
She better sort it all
she
out.
walks down the aisle.
Don't you think she's going to have bigger problems in life than this one?
Probably. Has
Let
she
it-
asked
I mean,
if he
that's
wants
the
to have
only
kids?
problem. she's
What's her
having.
name?
Yeah, what is it?
Derek Raines. Derek. It sounds like he's the male, maybe then. I don't know. Derek. Yeah, Derek.
Hey, you never know.
Derek, let it go, brother. Let it go. Who cares, right?
Sean has something to contribute before we wrap up.
According to the internet,
Oh,
According
here
to
we
the
go.
internet,
if it's yellow, let it mellow. If it's brown, flush it down. Originated during one of the California droughts.
Oh, wow, that makes sense.
So they wanted to conserve water.
Serve it, yeah.
see, I'm always drought conscious. That's
Yeah.
all that
Always.
is.
Yeah, save water.
All right.
And with that, we're done.
Brownbag at WNEP.com. Brownbag at WNEP.com. Get your questions in. These are the kind we like, and we'll have some fun next time. You have a final thought?
As the lunch ladies used to say in the cafeteria, that's a wrap.
That's a wrap. It's like a chicken wrap or a.
We're going to end on that?
Yeah,
No mayo, though. Right, Joe?
no mayo.
Curiosity. What are you so curious about? Everything, Mr. Curiosity.